Continuing on with our discussion about the nervous system and its response to pain, aka lessons I learned while getting tattooed. So we're starting today with the fact that your nervous system only exists in the present moment. It has no innate understanding of the past or the future. So whatever your body is experiencing at any given time, as far as your nervous system is concerned, that's pretty permanent. So when we're looking at this in the context of pain, for one, as trainers, this is kind of a side point, but it's a good thing to understand. You know when someone comes to work with you and they're injured, and they're such a great client, and they're doing all their exercises and all their homework, and they're coming in, and then they're better. And then all of a sudden, you never see them again. They don't come back for maintenance. They don't come back to push more. Well, what happened was they're better, and they've completely forgotten what it was like to be injured. Because again, the nervous system doesn't remember. So your cognitive memory, like, oh, I couldn't do this or that hurt, that's one thing. But there's not the same motivating factor to get better or stay better, naturally, if your body's not in the same level of discomfort that it was. So this becomes interesting when we look at pain that we welcome or pain that we anticipate versus pain that just happens to us. For example, like the pain of a sharp injury or a cut or a burn versus something like delayed onset muscle soreness, which is something that we invite, or somewhere in the middle, like childbirth, which has a pretty big ending for something that started off as something really fun. Often I'll equate the experience of getting tattooed and childbirth together because for both of them, mine has been very similar. I'll either walk into the tattoo shop, tattoo parlor, or get labor pains, which is not an either. That's happened twice. And it's not until I hear the needle or start getting those initial contractions that I'm like, oh fuck, what did I sign on for? Or at least it was like that. Now, I'm not intending to have any more children, but I am intending to go under the needle a number of more times before my back is done. So let's get into pain you welcome and your response to it. Maybe a better way of saying that is let's get into how do we react or respond to pain. So a little story. Every tattooer I've talked to has said the best way to handle it is to just try to relax completely and also focus on your breath. The very first time I ever got tattooed, which you can kind of barely see here, it's like so right underneath this cover up here, there are like 5 lizards that you can't really see on camera. Maybe you can see the edge of them poking out right here. And I got them when I was maybe 19, and I focused on my breathing and I passed out. So that was how that first thing happened. Then I came to and finished the tattoo. It wasn't a big thing. It was like a little sticker. Going back in to get all my work done, I tried focusing on my breathing, especially like the arms are manageable, but the back, that was intense. So Chago, my tattooer, was doing the outline of the dragon on my back, which I'll show you pretty soon, not today. And I was focusing on my breathing and the experience of it. And pretty soon, 2.5 hours in, I started shaking so much and my breathing got so ragged that he said, I need you to be a little more still because I can't actually tattoo. You're moving so much, it's gonna make the straight lines curved. And that was the turning point for me. When I had a project, so all of a sudden I'd been focusing on my breath before and I've been trying to relax, but I was like succumbing to the experience and also succumbing to my nervous system's response. So I was basically in this reaction state that was getting heightened and heightened as the natural pain endorphins began to wear off. And it just started getting like this, the sound of a needle coming in and this awful response in my body that was feeling very ragged. As soon as he asked me to become still and gave me a reason, my focus shifted and I started trying to just keep the part that was under the needle still, and it changed everything. It was like I had a meditation and I also had a way to respond to the influence. So that's what I'm giving you today, is that there's a difference between just having a reaction and anticipating something and then knowing how to respond. And we're going to continue all of that tomorrow with a discussion of what I've learned as far as response techniques and also some really interesting correlations with vagal tone.